Ineye, the Benin Hero. Okhues village sat quietly outside the big Benin kingdom, where mud huts with straw roofs leaned under a sky that hadn't rained in 7 long years. It was around 1588, way back when the Benin Oba, think of him like a super-powerful king, sent warriors to grow his land, making cool bronze art and trading with faraway places. But Okhues? It was stuck, forgotten, with dust everywhere. The river Okhues used to be full of fish and clean water, but now it was a smelly, sludgy mess. Dead fish bones piled up on the banks, and vultures flew above, squawking like they owned the place. History books say this drought hit hard back then, making life tough for people in Benin's edges. Ineye was 13, born when the drought started, with big, shiny black eyes that seemed to see everything. Her mom, Osaretin, was all she had after her dad, Igosa, disappeared in a fight with some bad guys years ago. Osaretin's hands were rough from digging in dry dirt for yams that wouldn't grow and making baskets to sell in Benin City for almost nothing. She told Ineye stories about Olokun, the river goddess everyone in Benin was scared of and amazed by. Olokun could make water flow or take it all away. Ineye loved singing those tales, about brave fighters, wild rivers, and gods who could be super nice or super mean. But Okhues was in big trouble. The fields were empty, kids looked skinny, and old folk said the gods were mad, maybe because of the Oba's wars or some old promise nobody kept. Osaretin got desperate. Every morning, she'd sneak to the gross riverbank, her dress all dirty, and talk to Olokun. "Please, river goddess," she'd say, digging her fingers into the mud, "I don't have much, but bring rain, and I'll give you my first yams, everything I grow. Save my Ineye, save us." One night, the sky boomed, and rain poured down, dark and heavy, splashing mud everywhere. The river got big again, fish swam in it, and everyone cheered. Osaretin was so happy she forgot her promise, and they ate the yams without thinking. 5 years went by, and Okhues hung on. The yams grew, but they tasted weird, and people felt uneasy, like something was watching them. Ineye was 18 now, tall and tough, with a smile that didn't come easy anymore. She carried water in a beat-up calabash, moving fast while people whispered she was too strong for a dying village. A big harvest party was coming to thank the gods, but the night before, under a creepy red moon, the river got loud. A scratchy voice crept through the village, "Ineye. Ineye," like someone whispering right in her ear. She woke up fast, sweaty and scared, on her sleeping mat. Her mom was snoring next to her, not hearing a thing. The voice got louder, Ineye, grabbing her like invisible hands. She jumped up, wrapped a cloth around herself, and tiptoed outside. The village was super quiet, no wind, no noise, just the river humming. She walked to the bank, where the water looked black and wiggly, and then it split open. Olokun popped up, and she was freaky, huge, covered in slimy green and gold scales, with hair made of eels that wiggled and stared with yellow eyes. Her face was pretty but mean, and she held a bony trident that dripped something red. Her voice shook the ground. "Your mom promised me her first yams," Olokun growled, her eels snapping. "She didn't give them, and now you owe me big time. Pay up, or I'll flood this whole place and take everyone." Ineye's legs shook, and the air got cold and stinky. She remembered her mom begging for rain, how they'd eaten those yams, and now this scary goddess was mad. "Olokun," she said, trying not to sound terrified, "Mom didn't mean to trick you. She was just hungry. Don't hurt them, take me instead. I'll fix it." Olokun laughed, a nasty sound that made Ineye's skin crawl. "Okay, brave kid," she hissed. "Work for me 3 months. Get me the pants of 5 virgins, girls who've never been married, or I'll drown your village. Start now." Ineye nodded, her stomach flipping, not sure what pants had to do with anything but too scared to say no. The river yanked her under like a big, wet mouth. She woke up in a spooky place under the water, sharp coral spikes glowed green, walls dripped black goo, and the air smelled like old fish. Weird fish with sharp teeth swam around, looking half dead. Olokun stood there, super tall, and said, "Go get those pants," then disappeared in a slimy swirl. Every night, Ineye climbed out of the river, sneaking into Okhues. She'd whisper to her cousins and friends, girls who hadn't married, like Adesawa and Omen, saying, "I need your pants for the river. It's important." They giggled but handed them over, thinking it was a funny game. Ineye took the clothes back, dropping them into Olokun's creepy cave, watching the goddess grab them with a weird smile, figuring it was just some odd ritual. 2 months went by, and Ineye felt gross, her hands were slimy from the cave, and she couldn't sleep right. The river turned darker, fish stopped swimming, and a bad smell spread over Okhues. People got worried. On the last month, Ineye gave Olokun her own pants, the 5th pair, and the cave started shaking. Olokun came back, her eels fat and her scales bloody. "You're so dumb," she laughed, holding up the pants. They weren't just cloth anymore, they glowed red, and Ineye heard screams coming from them. These trapped their souls. "Tonight, I take those girls and flood everything." Ineye's heart stopped. She'd messed up bad. Those pants weren't for some silly goddess thing, they were stealing her friends' lives. She ran out of the water, popping up on the bank as the sun came up. "Mom," she yelled, shaking Osaretin awake. "Olokun's coming, she's got their souls in those pants. We're all in danger." Osaretin's eyes got huge, and she told everyone her mistake about the yams. The village freaked out. Adesawa, Omen, and the other girls fell asleep and wouldn't wake up, their breathing super slow. Okhues, an old warrior guy, and Iso, a priestess lady, shouted, "We fight." They grabbed spears, made magic charms, and sang loud Benin songs. Moms and kids piled up dirt bags to stop the water. At night, Olokun came up, bigger than ever, her eels chomping, her trident shining. The river exploded, smashing huts with black waves. Okhues threw spears, but a wave knocked him down hard. Iso burned special plants and yelled prayers, but Olokun just laughed, her voice like thunder. The girls' bodies lay still in their huts, and Ineye heard their souls crying from the pants Olokun waved around. She felt awful, her cousins, her friends, all because of her. Then she got an idea. She grabbed a spear from the ground, climbed a tall palm tree, and shouted, "Olokun! Take me, let them go." Olokun spun around, her eel hair hissing, and Ineye jumped. She stabbed herself with the spear, right in the chest, and fell into the river, blood splashing everywhere. Olokun screeched, loud and angry, as Ineye sank. The glowing pants burst apart, and 5 sparkly lights, Adesawa's, Omen's, and the others' souls, flew out. The flood stopped, pulling back like it was scared. In the huts, the girls gasped, waking up, their eyes blinking fast, alive again. Olokun sank down, muttering, "You win this time," and the river went quiet. The next morning, Osaretin found Ineye on the bank, still and pale, the spear gone. She cried, hugging her tight, and the village gathered, sad but thankful. Adesawa and Omen ran over, sobbing, "She saved us." They buried Ineye, singing a new song about her, a girl who faced a scary goddess and gave everything. Years later, in 1595, when the river got wild again, they sang her name, and it stayed calm. Okhues never forgot Ineye, the hero.